Hi all, this is Sangeeta. Today we'll see how to do man in the middle attack using Itaka in Kali Linux. This video is mainly for learning purpose. So let's start. What is man in the middle attack? What is Ettercap and what is ARP poisoning? So, man in the middle attack is a cyber security exploit where an attacker secretly intercepts and potentially manipulates communication between two parties without their knowledge, and the attacker positions themselves in the middle of the communication to steal the information and alter the sensitive information and communications. MITM is a passive type of attack because here the attacker will monitor the network traffic to gather the sensitive information without the knowledge of the victim. There are multiple types of man in the middle attack: ARP poisoning, DNS spoofing, Wi-Fi protein. So coming to EtherCap, EtherCap is a powerful open source tool used for network protocol analysis, packet capture, and man in the middle attack. It is commonly employed by penetration tester and security professionals to test network vulnerabilities and to simulate cyber attacks in a controlled environment. EtherCap supports a wide range of network protocols and provides a features for active and passive reconnaissance. It is an inbuilt tools inside Kali Linux. So coming to ARP poisoning, it also known as ARP spoofing, is a type of cyber attack where an attacker sends false address resolution protocol messages to a local network. This manipulates the ARP table of devices, associating the attacker MAC address with the IP address of another device, usually the default gateway or a victim machine. As a result, the attacker can intercept, modify, or disrupt network traffic. For exploitation, so here I took two virtual machines. One is Kali Linux and one is Windows 7. So let's check the IP address of both the system. In Kali Linux, I use ifconfig, and on Windows 7 we'll check the IP address. We need to check whether both the IP are in same network or not. Then only we can exploit. So let's check. Here we can see both Kali Linux and Windows 7 IP address in, so we can start our exploitation. As we already know, ARP poisoning will change the MAC address of the default gateway. So to check the ARP table, let's use ARP-A. So here now we can see the MAC address of the default gateway is a -C8. Once we'll do the ARP poisoning, the MAC address of default gateway will replace with the default MAC address of the man in the middle. So we'll see that one. Already installed EtherCap tool inside my laptop. Whoever is doing for first time, using this command, they can do sudo apt update and sudo apt install EtherCap graphical. It will update the app as well as it will install. Then to open the EtherCap app, we can use sudo EtherCap hyphen capital G. As I already said, I have already installed EtherCap. So let's start EtherCap, which is under sniffing and wiring code. So let's start. So here I'll not change. I'll keep the Ethernet 0 and bridge sniffing it will be disabled only because here I am using only one interface through which the traffic will come and go out. So let's start. Then we'll go for search host. So once scanning done, we got to know like 3 hosts are available. So we'll make them a list. We can click here. So we got to know. Here it is showing our Windows 7 machine, our default gateway, and my local machine. So we can check our Windows 7, and here is Windows 7 IP address. So I'll add that Windows 7 to target 1 and our default gateway to target 2. So we'll start the ARP poisoning. Before that, I'll start Wireshark also to trace the network traffic. Let's start Wireshark. Then we'll do ARP poisoning. We'll start ARP poisoning. We'll go for the default settings only. Now we can open Wireshark and we can see what the network traffics are incoming and outgoing. So let me open the first ARP protocol in Wireshark. Before that, let me check the ARP table. So if we'll see, earlier the default gateway MAC address was -C8, but now it's changed to C4, which is a man in the middle. But Windows 7 will think this is the default gateway, but our MAC address of the default gateway changed. So this C4 is the man in the middle. So let's open the first ARP protocol in Wireshark. So here we can see like sender it is showing IP address is 49. That means default gateway IP address. But the default gateway IP address exact MAC address is C8. This C4 is the MAC address of our main in the middle. So Windows 7 will think it's getting the response from the default gateway, but it's getting the response not from the default gateway. Instead of it's getting the response from the man in the middle. So this is how man in the middle is attacking. Then let's check the second ARP also. That time man in the middle was sending response to Windows 7. Now we'll see when a default gateway is receiving the response. A default gateway will think like the response is coming from Windows 7. But instead of Windows 7, this response is coming from the man in the middle. Right side, the MAC address of the man in the middle. So as I already said, man in the middle attack, using man in the middle attack, we can see the traffic, network traffic, and we can get the sensitive information as well. So one site is there, testphp.worldweb.com. There we can enter our username and password, and that one we can track inside our ettercap tool. So let's see. So here I'll enter the username and password, and that one I'll track inside Kali Linux in Wireshark. So here I gave ID and password is done and done. So let's filter out with HTTP protocols. Then here we can see the username password what I have entered. So using man in the middle attack, attacker can monitor incoming and outgoing traffic. Our traffic as well as can collect the data for future exploitation. So later we need to stop this ARP poisoning. That's it for today. Thank you.